Ted Bundy, the man who had over 30 plus victims and 20 of them were confirmed. The man who terrorized the 7 states of California, Colorado, Florida, Idaho, Oregon, Utah, and Washington. The man who managed to escape prison not once, not twice, but 3 times. The man who died to the electric chair and had his death celebrated by the public of the city of Bradford County in Florida, with a whole parade outside of the prison. This man was one of many criminals to get the death penalty and have it followed through. The death penalty isn't commonly used, but it is usually utilized as the last resort. It's legal in 27 states, although Pennsylvania, California, and Oregon have moratoriums on executions, meaning a temporary suspension of them. An offender can get sentenced to death for being successfully convicted of treason, espionage, murder, large-scale drug trafficking, and or attempted murder of a witness, juror, or court officer in certain cases. If you get sentenced to any of these, you can either be sentenced to lethal injection, the electric chair, lethal gas, firing squad, or hanging. The criminal can be held on death penalty for many years, usually starting from over a decade to way over 20 years. I, personally, am indifferent about the concept of the death penalty, but I do lean more to the against it side. The death penalty can be good for giving justice to the family or families that the offender hurt, giving the society some closure that this threat is no more, causing no more chaos, or, in the case of Ted Bundy and some others, keeping them in one space. Even having good benefits of releasing the public of the stress of having such a monster in their city, it can be a bad thing. It can be seen as an easy way out for the accused, an escape from prison and having the heavy knowledge of knowing you killed someone on your shoulders and making you age a little like milk. Even though, to many people, that would be much more preferable for the monster who committed such horrid crimes. Now, choosing not to give the prosecuted the death penalty can also be a good thing, because you get to see the horrible person, even if you want to call them a person, who hurt either your family or your city suffer and rot in jail for whatever they did for however long. Take Ian Brady, for example, the man who dragged a gullible woman, Myra Hindley, into being a partner in crime to hurt children, who says she was both forced and willingly did these things. No one knows which to believe, although the latter is more applicable. Once they were convicted of doing many horrible things to multiple children and sent to prison, he sent many love letters to his partner in crime and quote-unquote girlfriend, and included a secret code. In one letter, the message was, "To pour acid on a victim's brother." What true young love they have. Though the first few parts of getting convicted of murder, among other things, Ian tried to keep Myra out of trouble at all costs and say that she was in the background of all of this, but according to the evidence, especially the ones against her, says that she enjoyed and was very much part of the crime. Once Ian was sent to jail, he went on a few hunger strikes, trying to starve himself to death since he wasn't sentenced to it. This was all in Manchester, England, and the last death sentence was in the late 1940s and was abolished in the 1980s. He went on hunger strikes lasting from 21 to 72 days, but was forced to eat via a block of wood with a hole in it wedged between his jaws and having a plastic tube strewn all the way to his stomach. He complained about not being able to starve himself to death because his rights were violated, because he's a human being with rights and a conscience. Good sir, you violated and murdered 5 children. You, my guy, are not human, and you have no right to be treated like one. You terrorized so many people with what you did, and you gave little to no care about what you did and what the impact of it was. During his descent into madness, he was stuck in his jail cell, hell-bent on finding this gun, in which he convinced himself was hidden somewhere in his cell. Hours later, he soon remembered that it would literally be impossible for him to have a gun. My point is, it's much more satisfying to watch a criminal slowly suffer into absolute madness than giving them a way out of struggling in a mental and concrete box.